Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great day in the market. Mine was very interesting, which we're going to get into here in a little bit. Um, if you're in chat, you already know what we're going to be talking about. But just want to share something with you real quick. That it kind of goes along with what I've been saying for the last couple of days. You know, one thing you want to ask yourself is, are you the one day person? One day I'm going to do this, or one day I'm going to do that. Or are you the day one person? I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to get started now. I'm not going to wait. The motivation is here. The drive is here. The determination is here. I'm going to use whatever I have to get to where I need to be. And that's kind of what you need to ask yourself. How many times have we said, I'll start something on Monday, or I'll start next week? But then that time comes and goes and you're in the same spot. You haven't done anything. We're stuck on that one day, and we forget that any day can be day one. So why not get started? Yeah, I know it's not money, because you get a Class A education, you get all the classes, everything you need, as cheap as you're ever going to find it. So what's stopping you? What are you scared of? You got to think about it. If this is something that you want to do, if you want to go after that your dream, and you want to give your family the life that you dreamed of for them, you got to get started. You can't put it off. I mean, with the things that are going on now and the changes that may be coming down, I mean, if you don't take advantage of it now, you may miss out. So invest in yourself. Believe in yourself. Know that you can do it. It is possible. So don't let your day one turn into more one days. All right, I'm going to be doing a free webinar coming up. I'm going to announce it in enough time for everybody to sign up for it. It's going to be on how to make a living day trading. Trade away your 9 to 5 and build that financial legacy that you always dreamed about for you and your family. Even if you don't want to trade your 9 to 5, you want to trade alongside, if you want to supplement your income, you have to learn the same things. You have to learn the same principles, and you have to develop that same discipline. And, so as soon as I get the date set in stone, I will be announcing it. So keep an eye out for that. All right, so let's get into my day here. Boy, my day started out bad. And I think I talked about this before, but you know how I talk about it in my day trading psychology course, which I'm glad it's starting tomorrow. We're starting over tomorrow, because I'm going to need it after what I did today. Just plain and simple overconfidence, thinking I know more than I know, than I'll ever know, because of the the market. Nobody's smarter than the market. I don't care who you are. Warren Buffett is not smarter than the market. He just knows how to follow the market's lead, and that's what we have to do. But sometimes we get into it and we force it, and we do stupid things. And SQ was one of those. Okay, let me show you what I was looking at. We looked at this yesterday. This was a beautiful, beautiful chart yesterday. You can see, we had the big sell-off. We had this huge window down, and we nailed it. Nailed it yesterday. So today I'm looking, hey, we should be able to pull back to this 37.52 level today, and we'll probably, bounce off of that. So my thought was, let's not worry about the setup. Let's not worry about the opening range or anything. If we open below this 41.23, then let's take it short, because we're going to be able to use this as our resistance. And, if we claim this, then we take it off. If not, we got a clear move down. All right, so first thing you notice over here, it opened. We sold off into the open. Beautiful. Just what I'm looking for. Here's the opening candle. We open up and we start to sell off. We got some good volume. So instead of me waiting like I normally wait for at least the first 2-minute candle, I jump in, because we open below the 20-day. And so I'm looking for this thing to fade. I jump in, and when this thing told me that I was wrong, when it started telling me that I was wrong and I needed to get out, I didn't. I held on to this thing. I got that deer in the headlight look. Like, okay, what the hell am I going to do now? What am I supposed to do now? Okay, my stop is all the way up here, 41.23. Where the 20-day was. So this is why I got out where I got out, because that was my stop. But here I got caught in the middle of trying to manage this like a swing trade, when it should have been a day trade. And once we claimed all of this mess, it was time to get out. So I ended up losing twice as much money than I should have lost. And, just a terrible, terrible start to the morning. I'm thinking it was in the mid $700 range that I lost, that I was down on this. I mean, very, very, very stupid, if I do say so myself. Very, very stupid. So I did, normally when something like this happens, the best thing to do is just to shut it down. Take your lumps, come back the next day. And that's what I started to do. But then, I said, okay, I can't let myself go out this way. I'm supposed to set an example. Yeah, it may be a smart thing to do if I wasn't in control of myself. If I was upset, if I was just out of control, then yeah, that would have been the smart thing to do. But I still had my wits about me. I knew exactly what I did. I knew why I did it. And I knew that I wouldn't do that on the next trade. So, I came back in, re-engaged, and, I grind. I had to grind. And that was what I needed to do. So after this stop out here, I went ahead and got long. Once we broke over, I could have gotten long here, but I kind of waited, because I didn't want to get long and then get rejected here at the 200. And, this candle ran up, so I got in, and we had a little pullback, but we held the 200, ran up. I did get a nice cover here, or sell another piece here. But then we had this sell-off, and I ended up just taking it off, because I didn't like the price action that we were getting at the point. So I went ahead and took it off. I locked in this profit, and here we bounced back. And you can see this was just bad price action through here. And we couldn't get over 44. I mean, that was going to be my target. You know, this I was going to take some off at 43.50 and then the rest at 44, but just didn't do it. We couldn't get over 44. And as we pulled back and got back under the 9, we were looking very weak. So I went ahead and got short. And again, and we tried to pull back over the 9 here. Had another little bounce. And, you know, never got to the point where it was going to take me out. It came within about 5 cents of my stop. And it worked. I mean, it sold off. We got the big move. I took some off here, you know, because we were running into some trouble through here. So I went ahead and took some off here and took the rest off at VWAP. Now, I wasn't able to get in full size on this because I was in another trade we'll look at in a minute. So I could only take a couple hundred shares, and that's where these two covers went. I could have done 50 shares here and then put another 50 out here. That would have been perfect. But I just didn't do it. You know, I wanted to lock in this, and it may have been, you know, the mindset of, you know, let's just lock in some profit and, you know, try to eat into some of these losses that I had today, you know, from that big loss. And, you know, I ended up taking it. This was the big move, but had I been in full size, yeah, I would have had a piece on for this. But still proud of myself for, you know, coming back, sticking to it, not revenge trading, but taking solid setups, having a solid trade plan, sticking to it. And so ended up only down $304 on this. So you can see I was down pretty big. I was in 500 shares on this first trade. Yeah, short 500 shares. Got in at 39.78. I almost gave up 2 points on this. You know, that's just how stupid I was. If I was going to do this, I should have just gone in 100 shares. But, you know, once I, you know, did this, you know what I had to do. What I had to put on. I had to put on the jackass face. Didn't have no choice. I had to wear it. And, you know, you see, eventually I was able to take it off. All right, so Momo, this was the other stock I traded. And, you know, this almost put the nail in my coffin. It almost put the nail in my coffin. You know, I waited for this. I was patient. Waited for the rejection. Got the lower, you know, try to get the lower low here. I got in, I think, at 26. And damn it, the next candle didn't pop up and take me out. I mean, look at this. So once we went through this again, I went ahead and got back in. You know, because we failed it here. We failed it here. You know, the second time we should be coming down. So I got in. You know, again, I used my strategy. I made sure I was doing things the right way. Got in. Got my first cover here. I wanted it to get out at 50. Let's see. I got short at 26.09. I wanted to get out some at 25.50, but you know, we just had some issues here. It wasn't, you know, going down. So I ended up, you know, having to take some off here at 20. You can see how we were trading sideways here. We traded sideways here a long time. We made that jump. Traded sideways. So I took some off here. And we never could get down to the 50s like I wanted. Never could. And came back and stopped me out right up here at break even. And so we went up, rejected the VWAP again. Was patient, waited for my setup, got in again, got another first target here, and ended up getting stopped out again on this pullback to the VWAP at break even. But hey, I mean, you got to do it. I mean, I gotta trade within myself, and I was proud that I wasn't sitting here taking these trades, loading up, trying to make all my money back. It did not work that way. I stayed in my lane. I traded within myself, and I made sure that I was following my rules. So again, I got back in here on this rejection, took some off here, and I had to leave at 3 to go pick up my son. So I just lightened up and left a quarter on, while I was gone to see what I was going to get. And 5 minutes too late. I could have gotten it at 25, but I got home 5 minutes too late. We were printing this candle when I walked in the door. And so, I just held on to it to the last minute and covered. But real decent. This should have been the one I was looking at out of the gate, but I wasn't. I was stuck on SQ because of yesterday and the big move we had yesterday, and I was just visualizing that again and just had tunnel vision. Just had tunnel vision and completely missed this. Now, had I traded this like I traded SQ, would have been a banner day. But as a trader, you're going to make these. You can't trade every stock. And some stocks you're going to have a bias towards, and there's just nothing you can do. You're going to convince yourself to trade it, and it wasn't a bad look. You could see, you saw the daily chart. It wasn't a bad look. It's just that it's just one of those things. All right, so if you were in the room when I got back, a lot of you were there waiting for the class to start, and you were able to see me take this earnings trade. Now, this ADSK, this is a strategy that I like to trade on earnings. I like to wait for the earnings to, for them to report the earnings. I wait for this over emotional move that always happens. It either goes up or down, but it's all based on emotions. And just like I trade the breaking news trades, I always let that first candle or that first move happen, and then I pick up the pieces after everybody's emotions fall apart. So I watched this sell off, had no idea we were going to sell off as much as it did, but I knew we weren't going to get another candle to the downside. I knew that wasn't going to happen, not with this big of a move. So what I do is I look for the bounce to retrace half of this, and then I was going to look to short it. Now, I don't typically trade these in my small account because after 330, your margin is restricted to 2 to 1. You're in a small account, you're not really going to be able to do much. But I had just enough buying power to get 100 shares of this. And I got in here. We did sell off a little bit more, but then we ran up. I was able to pick up a couple points on the first cover. And we tried to move up. I had my order at 15. I had my last bid out at 15, but we couldn't get it. We started to sell off, made a lower low, and it was about time to start the class. So I had to get out. And it ate away at me so much that this setup was so nice. I said, well, if it bounces, I'm going to get back in and, try to get my 115. And I found myself not being able to concentrate on the class. It's a live class, so I'm talking. I'm demonstrating. We were looking at a live trade happen. We were talking through it, and I couldn't do that in trade, so I had to take this off. And obviously, it made the move I was looking for. Because initially, when we were in chat, I was telling you I was looking for it to go back. 115 was my next target, and between 118 and 120 was going to be my next target. Because I felt after it hit that, we were going to roll back over, and I was going to short it, possibly leave on 100 shares overnight. But I couldn't really focus on this the way I wanted to. But we did nail it. This turned out to be the biggest trade of the day. So I ended up with 114 gross, but my net P&L after commissions, I had 25 tickets. So I kind of over traded a bit today. 25 tickets. So I ended up minus 24.75. And from where I was, being down probably over $1,000 after the Momo loss, I got stopped out of it, to come all the way back and be down 24.75. And really, the crown jewel, this was a special day, because you were able to see me completely come unglued. I mean, not emotionally, but professionally trading. You got to see my trading come unglued, just rip itself apart. But the psychology that I teach in the workshop, that all of you guys are getting, is that glue that held me together. It was spiraling out of control, and that centrifugal force was starting to pull those pieces of that puzzle together. Apart. But that glue, that psychology, that Marge Podge, as I call it, was holding the pieces of my puzzle together. So when it stopped spinning, I was able to put it up. I was able to, right the ship, get back focused, and turn this day around. And really, the crown jewel was me being able to show you, how I trade these earnings. And, now that I have a little bit more cushion in my account, my equity is at a decent place. I can take these. Now, I'd have loved to size up on this. My other account, I probably would have made over $1,000 on this trade. This is just par for the course on a daily basis when you're dealing with earnings that either sell off or get bought up on emotion. It's going to come back. Go back and look at all the earnings that's reported at night and look at the moves and see if you can come up with see the same pattern I saw. But we do cover this in the class. We will get to this. This is one of the last strategies that we cover, this and pre-market, because those are the most risky. Now I know we had good volume here, but over here we started to die out. And this is when it becomes real risky. The initial hit and the initial pullback, and I fully expected this to run up to about 118 on this volume, but it just didn't do it. It's not going to work perfect all the time, but we were able to nail it and make a good bit up, make a good penny off of it. But these are everything that you teach. If you are a member of chat, if you're a member of the community, you get access to all the classes. You don't have to pay anything else. If you have a monthly, quarterly, or yearly subscription, you come in. We're starting the day trading psychology workshop tomorrow, after the market. And if you're a member, you come in for free. It's all part of it. This is a complete education community. Not nickel and diming you for anything. The only extra money you would ever pay is if you want, one-on-one mentoring. That's it. Because I do value, my free time. I don't mind working with you, but I do value my time. If I didn't, I wouldn't be who I am right now. So that was my day. A great day. Not because I lost and took that big loss. It's a great day because I was able to keep focused, keep locked in, not lose my cool, and work my way back. Now, yeah, I did take a drink afterwards because I deserved it. I deserved a shot of that good bourbon. I don't always earn it. I deserve it, but I did today. So if you guys want to ask me a question or get in touch with me, here's all my information. The best email to catch me, ed@averagejoetrader.com. That's the one I monitor 24/7. But I am on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Stock twits, I don't even have that on here. And obviously on YouTube, because this is where you see the video. All right, so that's it from me. We'll catch you tomorrow morning. Let's get after it.